Keyboard Magazine on the last day of the NAMM show, and we're here with TJ Jordan from iZotope, and our mutual friend BT's new plugin, BreakTweaker, the electronica producer and artist and DJ BT designed this, and iZotope coded it. I'm sure BT did a lot of coding too. He's a code guy.
Yeah, it was. He brought a prototype to us, I believe, and we worked on it with him from there.
But you know, Stutter Edit was way cool when he did that, and I keep hearing people, this is just insanely deep. So what does it do?
A lot. So I'll start in the high level because it gets really deep really quickly, so I'm trying to keep it simple to start, and then we'll go into all the deep parts. So just in the high level here, you have a drum machine type plugin, a drum machine type interface where you have your timeline here with individual sequences where you can trigger different samples or synthesis samples essentially. So it works like a drum sequencer. You can trigger things in there, you can remove them. If you have a longer sample you're working with, you can extend the duration, which is pretty cool and unique. The part where it gets really interesting as far as a BT style plugin, if you're familiar at all with BT, which I'm sure most of you are, if you select the individual trigger, you can then make a micro edit on that trigger. So now in that specific trigger, I'm doing tons of triggers underneath it. So if I play back the original sample without any divisions, it'll sound something like this. So that's the original sample we're going to work with. The moment we start increasing divisions here, in preview end, you get that kind of crunchy, glitchy BT style effect.
Right.
Yeah, so I can adjust that if I want to, change the tension, and now we're getting even more into BT's territory. Getting that kind of really, really glitchy effect. And so I'm going to actually change the tension, go the other way, and get another effect. So some really cool sounds out of it, just on the high level, changing around micro edits and beat sequencing stuff. So you can make some cool beats really quickly. Also the glitchy kind of stuff doesn't get in there. Once you start going deeper into the micro edits, I'll note that the micro edit section itself is there's one micro edit option per trigger. So you can have each trigger have its own micro edit in there. You can have its own division type in there, so you want to customize what the type is, what the slope is for it. So I'll go through a couple others so you can see how it'll change the actual slope characteristic. If I wanted to work with pitch granular synthesis with regards to pitch, I can lock specific re-triggering to play back at a certain frequency that I can then select here as my root note for that sample note. So now I'm adjusting what that sample playback is going to be. So if I preview this now I'm changing pitches as well with granular synthesis. So that leaves a lot to work with as far as doing glitch stuff, as far as doing drum programming. The sample content in here is really, really awesome. We work with a lot of sound designers from BT himself to AU5, Richard Devine, Seamless, a bunch of iZotope artists who work with Beatport to help in on the content.
Do you have a little bit of a little demo so we can hear what it sounds like in context?
Sure, yeah. I'll load up a couple presets and I'll just go through them a little bit so you can just hear what it sounds like.
Everything we need. Declipping, dehumming, denoising, spectral repair. And then you open up. You can have several different ones that you can around.
I'll load up another a drum and bass one that I made that I thought was fun.
De-reverb design.
Very cool.
Play with electric light. So I open it up in here.
Wow.
So a lot of sound design capabilities in here for just sequencing beats, not just on the high level, the simple level, just beat creation and working.
Yeah, I bet you can get pretty crazy with it.
Yeah, you definitely can. So on the other half, we make it as a sound design style, like we can shape samples and shape synths in here. So over here on the left, you have all these tabs, and if I click a tab, it'll change to the generator mode. And now I'm in here, I have 3 generator slots where I can load in a sample or a synth. So right now, for this specific example, I have a kick.
Oh yeah?
You can see the timeline going, so I'm previewing it. I can adjust the coarse amount for pitch, the fine amount, the gain, kind of standard sample shaping tools. I have a distortion filter for each generator lane. I also have an envelope and an LFO with 4 instances of the LFO, 4 instances of the envelope per generator type. And so that's for each generator per lane. So 3 generators per lane. It can be either a synth or a sample. So that's a lot of layering possibilities you can work with there. I'll dive into synth really quick because I think that's probably one of the deeper parts of this sound design option. Just on the basic sense here, we have wavetable synthesis at the core of the synthesizer, which that gives you alone a lot of options for adjusting what the waveform looks like, adjusting what the sonic characteristics are for the synth that you're working with. So just to kind of hear what that sounds like, I will make sure I have nothing else playing in this lane, get my generator going, and then I'll automate the LFO for this wavetable, and I'll play it back for you. Make sure there's nothing automated here. Make this a low bass sound. Now we have. That's actually quite low. Oh, I have my filter running. Let me turn my filter off as well. Make sure nothing else is playing on this one, just to gain. So when I play it back.
Do the spectral here and just, maybe try to replace it and see if that'll work.
We have a ton of other filter options in here, or I'm sorry, wavetable options in here. We have
Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Once you start using the wavetable synthesizer, you can start adding the other oscillator, either as a ring mod, as an amplitude modulator, FM synthesis. You start getting some really cool synth sounds out of it, and then when you start taking the samples of the synths and then working with it granularly with the micro edits, you get some really awesome sonic characteristics to your audio and get some really
huge inspiration generator.
Oh yeah, it's totally awesome for that.
We're going to be reviewing it in Keyboard Magazine. We really look forward to getting our hands on it.
Awesome.
So TJ, thanks very much. This is BreakTweaker by iZotope and BT.